Hello. Well, today I thought I'd do a little tutorial on how I did these large tags. So these are all double-sided. Let's just move those guys out of the way. One side has a little pocket and the other side's just sort of writing space. So I thought I'd show how I do the kind of background paper that I glue onto this, and then also how I make all the little kind of bits to go into the little pockets. So we've got a few of them. So some have fabric. I won't do fabric today because I won't go off to do any sewing. So yeah, we'll just make these as they are. This is one without a pocket, so I'll do one without a pocket as well. They don't have to have them, but it's still got a few little goodies on there. And so I'll show you the book that I use for a lot of these sorts of images, and then I've got all of these kind of little bits and pieces from my granddad's work over the years. So that's what all these glassine bags and little slides and things are from. So I'll do a little flip through of just a small portion of what I've got to choose from out of all of his fabulous scientific papers and things. So anyway, we'll give these a go. Now I do have the sizes of these. Most of these are the same size. I used to work when I lived in Queensland at Beads and Crystals in Annerley, and my boss had all of these. We used to carry a lot of Swarovski, and he had all of these boxes which inside have these fabulous little inserts which when you cut down, I'll just show you one. Oh, here's one that I've cut. So I just kind of snip off the edges and leave myself with, they're all sort of different widths, leave myself with a bit that I can just flip up for a pocket. So all of these ones are sort of, they're about 16 centimetres high in total, so the pockets range from 3.5 centimetres to sort of 1 centimetre, and they're about 7.5 centimetres wide. And then I've got some which are just these front cover bits, and so these are the ones that I cut down for just the tags with no pockets. You could also use, I've got a lot of these boxes, so I just use them because they're kind of perfect for this. They're a very nice cardstock weight, but you could also just use a pill packet. So it has the same thing. It's got this little flap down the bottom. So for that, all I do is cut that little excess bit off. Let's just see what we can make with, cut that off. And the nice thing is all these little kind of bits that you've trimmed off can also just be turned into little mini tags and things that can then actually go in the pocket of this one. So if you were going to use, just some scrap cardboard that would have otherwise gone into the recycling, that's all you'd need to do. And then I'd probably cut that in half, or even just make a narrow tag and a slightly bigger one. But again, you've then got the little pocket that you can just flip up nice and easy. So anyway, let's have a look at how we decorate these. So I'll just do one of each of these because I've already got them cut. Now for my little background papers, I really like using, so I tend to use stuff, if it's got something on one side that I don't want but the other side's nicely coffee dyed, we just go with this one. I really like this shadow effect, and that just comes from inking things, images and stuff over the course of a day, and then you're left with that. So say I had all these guys, which is from my pandemics, the little book of pandemics, and it's got all these sort of fabulous little images. So I've just been ripping them out and using them for all sorts of little ephemera really. So let's just grab, and I really like, there's a couple of colours I like to do for my poisonous greens and things, so it tends to be like a mix of like peeled paint, crushed olive, crackling campfire, and yeah, if you just go around on the bit of paper, and then every so often just shift where you're inking on the underneath bit, and let's just get that a little less white, and then you sort of end up with this really cool background, and you can go as crazy or as light as you want with it. And I did have one, sorry, I'll just so you don't have to watch me do it endlessly, here's one that I made when I was doing, oh God knows, I think I was inking all sorts of ephemera, and so ended up with that quite dark, but that's alright, we can use that today. So let's just pop those guys out of the way, put their lids on so I don't end up with it all over my hand. Okay, so then if you just, that will actually be about the right size for that, so I'm just going to tear it down. Actually, if we use this one for the pocket one, because that pocket will be folding up, we actually don't need it to be as high, so that would be perfect. I do leave a little gap around the edge, just because I find sometimes when you go right to the edge, your glue doesn't always like to glue it down completely. I find it works a little better, yeah, when you've just got that space. Actually, let's cut, because I'll end up with, let's just cut our little tag shape. And then we'll ink the edge up a bit. And add to our next lot of background paper. So, just got my glue. I'm just using boils for this. I find sometimes with these thinner papers the art glitter can kind of seep through and leave leave marks on the paper. So if it's like, this is just a very thin copy paper, so yeah, I find the boils kind of doesn't leave any evidence of it, seeping through. Alright, so we'll just glue that down. Give that a second to dry. Now while that's drying, I'm just going to pick some images from my Grandad's fabulous science papers, and I'll just show you. So this folder is one of many folders of some of his very poisonous looking, I don't know, a lot of them are labelled as like miscellaneous particles, and they've been exposed to different kind of vapours and all sorts of things. So there's all these kind of little fabulous graphs, and then all of these wonderful, not sure why these were all coloured, perfect little sort of mini journal cards and ephemera. So yeah, as you can see, this is a whole big folder filled with all sorts of different shapes and colours. Yeah, some of them, I don't know whether the exposure went crazy. I love that in his notes it's, you know, almost no effect, but of course for what I'm wanting it for, the effects are fabulous. So yeah, that's one lot of those. And the other stuff that we'll pick, so this is again just a very small selection of glassine bags with all of his writing on it. So this is from 1974. These bits of paper are from 1969. All of these strips, actually all of these glassine bags, had these inside them, negatives on the front, and then were all attached into these, I guess, kind of sketchbook things, and there were drawers and drawers filled with them. So Mum and I have sort of salvaged what we can, and there were some which were just, yeah, I don't know, they were glued in with super glue or something, so it was a bit impossible. But let's just pull out, let's get a little selection of these, and yeah, little negatives. Some single ones. What else we got? Oh, there we go. There's a larger bit. So yeah, you can see where it was all stuck down. We've got all this lovely kind of vintage tape. Yeah, so this is what they were. Yeah, kind of housing all of these bits and pieces, some of which look almost black with nothing on them, and then some which just, yeah, have all of these fabulous images. So anyway, we'll use some of those, and I thought we'll use a couple of these. So this is just another selection of these guys. So you can see I've got all different sizes, and these will just be blown up from like those little itty bitty slides. Some of which look quite ghostly, and they work really well in my kind of poison and anatomy themed pieces. Yeah, I don't know what he was, I mean, you know, often he would try and explain what he did, but it always went a little bit over my head. It was, yeah. Let's just, ooh, these are kind of cool. I think maybe I'll use one of those. So we'll rip one of those out. And then, yeah, I might just keep those three out, and we'll take some stuff off those. So yeah, I mean, it's, what an absolute treasure trove of pieces that work with what I like to do. Right, so this one's dry. So now I'll work out what I want to put on this side. So I'll probably leave this side mostly blank. So I'm just going to snip these little guys just to make our tag shape. Oh, I probably should have glued the other side down first. That's all right. Now on the other side I might just use this darker one. So let's go, if we just kind of fold that there, we can just fold it today, no cutting required. The nice thing about these is they don't have to be perfect. Now this side doesn't have the pocket on it, so I will want this at the full length, or almost, so we'll just sort of do it almost up to the edge, like that. Now, because I was silly and cut these bits first, I'll just get them roughly the shape that I want them, and then just cut a little bit extra off. Let's see if that worked. Right, a little bit more. A little bit more. And maybe just and this is why I should have waited to cut my edges, but that's all right. We'll make it work. There we go, that'll be fine. So again, I'm just going to ink up that kind of edge a bit, just so it's looking more grungy, and that'll help with that background. Alrighty, and glue that one down. And that is why I have paper on the desk. I just put glue everywhere. Okay, get that done. And we'll just kind of line that up. Alright, beautiful. Somewhere there's a glue card. Okay, that should be the right size for just gluing. Let's just glue that onto the pocket as well. Just because this card is that I'm using is, it's not white, it's quite cream. Some of them are actually a bit glittery, so we just want to cover that up. That'll do. Again, just leaving a little gap sort of around my edges. Now, before we attach the pocket to the other side, I'm actually just going to go around and ink this whole thing. Sorry, let's just, we'll go green, because I like to bake everything green, if you haven't noticed already. Let's just, so this is how I do my kind of, yeah, creepy, gory tags, but I will show you at the end. I do have some pretty ones as well, which you just use the same thing. You just use different you know, bits and pieces to kind of make all the ephemera that goes in the pockets. So let's just get all that grunged up. Now that I've done the base, I will actually glue this pocket up before I add anything else. Otherwise, I tend to do things upside down. So for the pocket, I'll just use art glitter because it'll work nice and quickly. And then just a little line of glue up each side. And I'll just kind of press that, give it a second. But there there we've got the nice little base, and now it's just a matter of yeah, working out what we want to put on it. So I've got some stamps for this guy. I love these little splat stamps, and they work pretty well when you kind of layer up your inks. So we'll just do that. And I'll also just add a bit more to the background on here. If it gets covered up, it doesn't matter. Okay, and let's just go, you can have a little number stamp as well. Whoop. There we go. Alright, so I might, he's quite big, he might actually go on a different one. Let's use some of these guys. So, oh no, it's double-sided. Okay, let's use this one because that's not encroaching on anything else. And this is the problem I often have with these sorts of things. Now, I like the rough edge, and I'd like to leave, so my granddad has, you know, left little notes on all these things, so I'll leave his little bits of writing. And we'll just tear that up. And there we go. Ink that. And we might just turn this bit into a little tag all of its own. So this is when, generally I don't use, you know, because I'll turn that into the pocket. So we'll just snip this bit off, because this bit is actually a nice bit of creamy card, and I'll just turn that into like a little, I don't know, little mini journal card, little ticket. Might just that wasn't a very straight line, that's okay. And I might just round the corners a little bit, which will help it go into the pocket. So we'll just again, I'm not too fussy about making it perfect. Whoop. Okay, let's just give that a quick ink. Now, one of these sides, I think this side has the writing very faintly on it, but I'll glue on that side. So this is quite thick paper, so I'll just use the art glitter. Whoop. And off the edge we go. Okay. Oh, goodness, what a mess I've made of this desk already. Okay. Probably actually want this a little bit more inked. It's looking a little bit light. That's all right. Can always grunge things up more. That's better. Alright, and then we've got an instant little journal card, let's just go, let's turn it into poison, because why not? There we go. That'll just add a bit of interest. Alright, so that one can go in the pocket. And then I might use, let's use some of one of the glassine bags. That's a very old one. It's probably going to fall apart quite quickly. Let's just use one of these. Now the nice thing about these is they also take ink. So you can kind of grunge them up in a different colour if you like. So I'm just going to make a little pocket. Just glue that bottom bit. And then I think I might actually just glue that down to that side. Now, while this glue is wet, you can see it, but it does actually dry quite clear, even with the, yeah, don't really see it through the glassine bag when it's done. So let's just, we'll make that a double pocket. So what I might do is we'll put some of that into that one. I reckon let's do 3. Ooh. Can I cut it straight? Who knows? I didn't actually bring my corner rounder with me, but I do like to round the corners on whenever I'm using anything kind of acetate. So these are, you know, like plastic slides. I find them, they can be a bit sharp and they don't like going into pockets easily, but if you round the corners, they're suddenly very well behaved. So we'll put, that one can go down the back nicely, and then this one can go in the front. Let's just, we'll do the same with that. When in doubt, round the corner, and whoop, whoop. Just get rid of that little white edge, but these are all pretty nice anyway. They've usually got a bit of the vintage tape or some of my granddad's writing on the back, so that can go, so we can have that little bit of ephemera there. Let's just, words are always good. Actually, I think I had, what else did I have? No, let's use this. This is better. Bio weapon threat. There we go. I'm sure my granddad would love that I'm using all of his things as poison. That's all right. Ink it up. All right, and then we'll do this. Whoop. Oh no, I can't get the pin in. Ah, there we go. Okay. Just glue that down on top. Alright, so there we've got one side. Now, what do we want on that side? I might just make that a tag. Let's just snip off the corners. Whoop. There we go, so that's filled with some goodies. What else can we do? Don't really want to use that. I feel like this needs something, but I don't know what. Maybe we'll just use that little bit. Actually, I've got, let's use this guy. Yes. Whoop. Watch everything go a little bit sideways. See, and we're also building up this little background nicely. Okay, so we'll go. Here we go. And what else have we got over here? Let's do because you know you could never have too many stamps. Oh, that already had filed on it. Oh well. Now it's got it again. And might just do this guy. Okay, it doesn't matter if it doesn't stamp off properly. Ooh, clean that up. There we go, so that's the one with the little pocket. And I mean, you can add as many pockets as you like. And then there's also, I was going to do the one without, which is, so again, just do the same thing. Oh look, we've got this pretty nicely made. So we'll do this one quickly. And you can add all kinds of hinges and anything to these guys really, so maybe we'll do that on this one. We'll add a little bit of something. Alright. Here we go. One. And two. One for each side. Okay, let's just, sorry, we'll just get this cut to, well, ripped to the right size. Oop. It was almost there. Okay, whee! That'll do. I mean, you can use anything for backgrounds, really. I have a lot of these papers, you know, that have like makeup charts and things on one side, and we coffee dyed them, and they coffee dye beautifully, but I don't really want the, you know, the side with some random image on it. So these are the ones that I tend to use for, yeah, gluing down onto projects like this, and then I sort of, you know, I don't feel like I've wasted a side, because you can't waste paper. Alright, so let's go to that one, and now I'll be sensible and cut the other side to match. There we go, let's do it the right way round this time. Oh look, I've got this bit of paper, let's just do it on here. Let's go with a little bit of, let's make it black, super grungy. Let's get inking. I do love the way that ink suddenly makes, you know, every project look better. Right, that'll do. Go. And again, this is the thin paper, so I'll just use a bit of boils. Whoop. Get it all over my fingers because that's half the fun. Inside. And second side. Ooh, didn't think about that. There's stuff on it. That's alright. I think I might have. Oh, look at that. That'll be fine. Cover it up. I don't know what I'm going to do when these boxes run out. They've been so, they're such a useful size, like perfect kind of width for this sort of thing, and very nice weight of cardstock. Ugh, I'm very sticky. Okay, too much glue. Now I can cut these guys. Whoop, went a little bit sideways, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's just ink that edge up a bit. Alright, now on this one, let's stick our person down and then a bit of hinged something over the top of him. Let's get rid of that. Hinging stuff is fun. Alright. Whoop, try and move back in the middle of the desk. Okay, so if we glue this guy, he's awfully large. How did I do the other ones? I feel like that's alright. Let's just tear a bit of that off. Let's cover this side. You can still write around the edges if you want to. That's right. Yeah. Whoop. That was too much art glitter. That may smush everywhere, but that's okay. I refilled my art glitter the other day, and for some reason it's gone so so much juicier than normal. It's very. I have tried gluing a few things that have just gone horribly wrong because it's come out of the little nozzle so fast. Right, so let's. What have I got? What have I got? Let's use a bit of this. This is just a little scrap bit of. I think it's just the white. You know, when you separate the napkins out, this will just be a little bit of the white bit that I just used PVA glue. I think that I had thrown a little bit of coffee into, so it's yeah, kind of gave it a nice grungy. I don't know how this is gonna. Oh no, that'll rip. Beautiful. Okay, a nice grungy look. Now, will you rip the same? Oh well, that's alright. We'll just have it a bit crazy. Doesn't matter. There we go. I might just actually. So you can hinge this, or might just glue down this little side and it'll still flap, flippy flappy. So if we just do this, good. Oh no, go back in. Alright, so we glue that down, and then once that's glued, I'll just put a bit of a fold in there. There we go. And so now you've got a little creepy, very sort of skin-like flippy flappy. Let's get that bit off. Again, once that glue dries, that should all be see-through, so that'll be fine. Now, what else did I have? I thought I had another. Uh-oh, where's it gone? Oh, there. Let's just use that. And some green. So this is when you could add a little pocket, or I think I'm just gonna just do some stamps and things on it. Leave it as writing space on the back, and then yeah, just pop it into a pocket in a journal, or you can always just kind of you know, oh, what's the word, paper clip it in. Okay, there we go, that one, and let's use one of these, because why not, we've got them here. And I've got a lot of them. It's funny, it took us a while to start being able to use these, because we kind of, you know, they're precious, they were Grandad's, but at the same time we just kept finding more and more every time we went through a cupboard or a box. And so we figure, why not? We'll use some, and there is always more. Alright, there we go. And just for good measure, let's go. Got a little splat stamp. They make everything look better. The nice thing is, you can even do it on these guys. End up with quite some creepy little stamps. What else have we got? Oh, this guy. Oh! Or I could drop it on the desk. There we go. Now you can attach little tabs to these guys, which maybe I will do. I don't think I have done them on some in the past. I don't really punch holes in them because I don't like adding heaps of bulk to that sort of thing, but just a little, you know, fabric tab. Oh, what else have we got here? I mean, you know, you could probably just do a little paper. Let's see if this will work. There we go, that'll just make a little tab. Make it easier to get out of the pocket. There we go. white bit. There we go. So then you'd have, yeah, just a little holder. And that's as easy as that. So then, yeah, you can fill up the pockets as much as you want. They tend to have quite a nice little bit of room there because they're not glued at the bottom, they're just folded up. More little pockets. So that's what we've done. Now, if you don't like creepy, you can just make them, what have I done with them here? Make them much nicer or prettier. Yeah, so these are just little book page offcuts, and then there's some stickers that I had, and these are just little books of pretty papers, so just chopping off strips, using the leftover card to make just mini tags to go in them. And again, these just have one pocket, and then just some nice paper on the back, but you've still got, I mean, you can still write on it, and that's just coffee dyed and inked. Yeah, so you don't have to make them gory, but it is kind of fun. And now might be time to clean up my desk. But yeah, so nice and simple. You've sort of got a nice solid little tag for writing on, and yeah, just adding in all sorts of goodies. I mean, you could even attach, like, hinge more paper to that and pull it out, have it like accordion, so you've got a whole big bit of writing space attached onto it. But yeah, super fun and a nice way to use up all the little bits and pieces. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've crafted along with me and haven't been too creeped out by all the poisonous green. Okay, bye.